Hare Krishna. Welcome to our program. Our speaker of the day is Shriman Gaurang Darshan Prabhu. He has done his master's degree from the prestigious Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. Prabhuji is a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, who is a senior disciple of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. He is also a member of ISKCON Examination Board and takes classes on Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and Vaishnav etiquettes. He has written elaborate workbooks on Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita, with which the students can dive into intricacies of these great scriptures. He is a compiler of many other educational booklets and magazines, thus helping the seekers of Bhagavad knowledge. In all, he is a living encyclopedia of scriptures preaching the science all over the world, and who is exemplary and lives whatever he preaches. Come, let's hear him and try to imbibe the essence of scriptures as presented by him. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
In this beautiful pastime of Samudra Manthan, or the churning of milk ocean, so far in the last 5 episodes, we have seen how the demigods and the demons made a truce and began this endeavor to churn the milk ocean under the guidance of the Supreme Lord Vishnu. And Vishnu has orchestrated this entire episode of Samudra Manthan through the demigods and the demons, and he was exhibiting this beautiful principle of cooperation for a higher purpose. If the great demigods and the demons, who have such opposite nature of the demigods, if they could cooperate for a high purpose, why not two people cooperate in this world for a higher purpose? So when the output of an activity is highly beneficial for the entire humanity, for the society at large, one has to compromise one's own thoughts and opinions, and one has to keep aside all selfish considerations and come together, work together for a higher goal, keeping higher principle in one's mind. So this Samudra Manthan, which is done by the demigods and the demons, give us this beautiful message. Now, the first product that came out of the Samudra Manthan was halahala, poison. So this poison was so dangerous and it is spreading all over the directions. At that time, the demigods approached Lord Shiva. Shiva was such a wonderful devotee, Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. He is the best of all Vaishnavas. He is the best of all the devotees of Vishnu, as declared very emphatically in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Shiva is such a benevolent personality that even at the cost of accepting some personal inconvenience, Shiva has accepted all this poison. He drank all this poison and saved the demigods and saved the demons. So he protected all the devatas and also the entire humanity, entire universe, by drinking this poison. And the Supreme Lord Vishnu is very happy with those devotees who perform such selfless sacrifices for the welfare of humanity. So after this whole incident has happened, where Shiva drank poison, there is a small bluish mark on his throat. He is called Nilakantha. His throat has become very bluish because of drinking this poison. Of course, Shiva is such a wonderful personality. Shiva is such a powerful personality. He is an avatar of the Supreme Lord, Gunavatara. So this Shiva was not affected by drinking this poison. It was very easy for him. He will not be affected like any other ordinary personality. Just because Shiva drank poison, if an ordinary person imitates Lord Shiva and drinks poison, he will lose his life. But Shiva is such an empowered personality, he could do it. And not only he is powerful externally, he is also very devotional, devoted to the Supreme Lord Vishnu internally. So his devotion and his power together protected the entire universe from this Kalakuta, this Halahala, this great poison. And after this product came out, and somehow all the people were protected from this great poison, the next product that came out was Surabhi cow. During the churning of the milk ocean, there are so many products that are coming out. The first product is gone, that is halahal. Second product is this Surabhi cow. So this Surabhi cow is such a divine cow that it produces nectarian milk, and that milk is used to make butter, and so many cow products are required to perform sacrifices. So cow is the greatest wealth of the humanity, and especially the Brahmanas, the sages. Sages perform so many wonderful sacrifices for the welfare of the humanity, so they need cow products, cow dung, cow urine, and cow milk, and the ghee that comes out of the cow. All these are very much useful for the sacrifices of the great Brahmanas. So when this Surabhi cow came out, all the Brahmanas have taken possession of the Surabhi cow, so that they can perform sacrifices for the welfare of humanity without any obstructions. The Supreme Lord Krishna is described in this way: Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagadhitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is very dear to the cows and Brahmanas, and Brahmanas and cows are very dear to him. Here the first product that came out of Samudra Manthan is cow, the positive product. Of course, the Halahala was there, that is ruled out, and this beautiful cow has come out, and that is very beneficial for all the Brahmanas to perform their sacrifices. And Brahmanas are also very selfless and benevolent people. Brahmanas are self-satisfied people. They are endowed with such beautiful divine qualities like cleanliness, austerity, knowledge, compassion, satisfaction with whatever they receive in their life by the will of providence. So like that, the Brahmanas are having such divine qualities by the will of the Lord. And also cows are sadhu animals. Cows are very beneficial animals for the humanity, and all the products of the cows are very much uplifting the consciousness of people. Whenever somebody drinks pure cow's milk, so that polishes the finer tissues in the brain, and one will be able to understand spiritual subject matters properly. So like that, all the products that are coming out of cow are very beneficial for the entire humanity. So the first thing that came out in the Samudra Manthan is Surabhi, and that is accepted by the sages. And the second product that came out of Samudra Manthan was Uchchaishrava, horse. This horse is as white as moon. This is a white horse, and it is so attractive, and it is also said that horse is one of the most beautiful animals, and when it came, it's so royal and regal, and it attracted the attention of people there, and Bali Maharaj has taken possession of this horse. So different products are coming out of Samudra Manthan, and different people are claiming those products according to their needs. And the third thing that came out of the Samudra Manthan was this Airavata. Airavata is an elephant that has 4 tusks, not 2 tusks. An ordinary elephant has 2 tusks, but Airavata has 4 tusks. So this Airavata is a very special animal, and these tusks are so white like Kailasha mountain. They are so huge. Airavata was a huge elephant, and Indra, the king of the heavenly planets, he has taken possession of this Airavata. Just like Bali Maharaj, the king of demons, has taken possession of Uchchaishrava. So these are the first 3 products. And as a 4th product, there are some nice elephants, 8 male elephants and 8 female elephants. They came out of the Samudra Manthan, churning of the milk ocean. So they go in all directions. So these are the 8 prominent elephants, male and female elephants. And the next product that came out of Samudra Manthan was Kaustubhamani and Padmaragamani. Mani is a jewel. Kaustubha jewel is a very special jewel which is not commonly available for people in general. This Kaustubhamani, which is a product of the churning of this divine milk ocean, that is accepted by the Supreme Lord Vishnu personally. Padmaragamani also is accepted by Vishnu. So this is another product. And the next product that came out of the churning of milk ocean was the Parijata flower. There is a beautiful heavenly tree called Parijata tree that produces such fragrant, sweet flowers called Parijata flowers. So these Parijata flowers are the special ornaments of the heavenly planets. So the heavenly residents have taken possession of this Parijata tree. And later the Apsaras came. Apsaras means the young heavenly damsels who perform so many musical performances and dances for the pleasure of all heavenly residents. People perform so many pious activities for high grade enjoyment in heavens, and in that heavens there are these Apsaras who perform so many fine arts and give pleasure to these people. So these are the Apsaras. So the heavenly residents have taken possession of these Apsaras. And the next product that came out of the Samudra Manthan was a personality. The personality is directly the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi. So Lakshmi Devi, the eternal consort of the supreme personality of Godhead Narayana or Vishnu, she has appeared from the churning of milk ocean. So as a part of this whole beautiful pastime, all these various personalities and elephants and horses and cows, they are all coming out for the benefit of the entire universe. They are going and taking their possessions in different planetary systems to create auspiciousness to the whole universe. And now here is the appearance of Srimati Lakshmi Devi, the eternal consort of the Supreme Lord, goddess of fortune. When she appeared with such exquisite beauty. She was looking so beautiful and she attracted the attention of every single personality in the whole arena there. As soon as people have seen Lakshmi Devi, who is also called Rama Devi, everybody got attracted. So attraction towards wealth or fortune or Lakshmi is innate in an average personality, and everybody naturally got attracted to her, including the demigods and many other people there. Now, the tendency of people in general is to invite Lakshmi within their lives, within their homes, but oftentimes many people miss the glory of Narayana. So because Lakshmi cannot stay without Narayana, one cannot accept only Lakshmi, one cannot welcome and worship only Lakshmi without worshipping Narayana. The position of Mother Lakshmi is to always stay at the lotus feet of Lord Narayana and render various services to Narayana. There is a beautiful shloka that comes in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. It says, Janudvayam jala jalochanaya jananya Lakshmyakhilashya suravanditaya vidhatuhu Urvornidhayaka rapallavarochishayat Samlalitam hridi vibhora bhavasya kuryat Janudvayam jalajalochanaya jananya. Janu means the calves. The portion between the feet and the knees is called Janu. So Janudvayam, the two calves of the Supreme Lord Narayana, are constantly massaged by the lotus-like hands of Mother Lakshmi. Janudvayam jalajalochanaya jananya. Janani means mother. Mother Lakshmi is considered the mother of the entire universe. All the devatas and various living entities are considered to be the children of the Supreme Father Narayana, and Mother Lakshmi, being the eternal consort of Narayana, she becomes the eternal mother of all these living entities. Jananya. Jalajalochanaya jananya. Jala means water. Jalaja means that which is born out of water. What is born out of water? Lotus flower. Jalajalochanaya means the goddess of fortune who had lotus-like eyes. Janudvayam jalajalochanaya jananya Lakshmyakhilashya suravanditaya vidhatuhu. that Lakshmi Devi, who is the eternal mother of the entire universe, who has lotus-like eyes, she is seen constantly massaging the calves of the Supreme Lord Narayana, and Lakshmi Akhila Suravanditaya Vidhatuhu. All the Suras means great demigods, great devatas, Vidhatuhu, including Lord Brahma, they all come and offer obeisances and respect and worship unto Mother Lakshmi. So, Mother Lakshmi receives all these worship and adoration from even great devatas also, including Brahmaji. So, she is considered the mother of Brahma also. Of course, she did not directly give birth to Brahma, but she is the eternal consort of Narayana, and Narayana gave birth to Brahma. From the lotus navel of Narayana, a lotus flower sprouted. On top of that flower, Brahmaji has appeared. Thus, without the need of a mother, Narayana gave birth to a son who is Brahma. But father's wife, that is Narayana's wife, is Lakshmi. Lakshmi is considered the mother of Brahma, although she has not given birth to Brahma. So, she is the mother of the entire universe. Janudvayam jalajalocanaya jananya lakshmyakhilasya suravanditaya vidhatuhu urvar nidhaya karapallavarochishayat. So, Mother Lakshmi is constantly massaging the legs of the Lord. Karapallavarochishayat. Her flower-like hands, fingertips, they are like lotuses. They are so delicate. They are so soft. With those hands, she is constantly serving, massaging the legs of Narayana, and these hands are shining. So, the meditation on the lotus feet or the legs of the Supreme Lord is not complete without meditating on the activities of Mother Lakshmi. Here is Mother Lakshmi, who has appeared from the churning of milk ocean. Lakshmyakhilasya suravanditaya vidhatuhu urvor nidhaya karapallavarochishayat. So, this is how Lakshmi is described in Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, that Lakshmi has made her appearance through this Samudra Manthan, and when she appeared, all the people wanted to, they were attracted to her, they wanted to invite her within their own lives, because she is goddess of fortune, she is the goddess of all wealth and all opulence, she is the goddess of fortune. So, accepting only Lakshmi without Narayana is not correct. So, one has to worship Narayana, and when Narayana is worshipped, Lakshmi will happily come into the houses of people. But Lakshmi is not very happy to give her blessings to people who ignore Narayana, who keep Narayana separate from her. So, she even directly says that in the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. She says, I am pleased with the devotees of my dear Lord Narayana, but I am not very much pleased with those people who ignore Narayana and worship me alone. These are her own words in the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, even Ravana also wanted to accept only Sita Devi, and he was ignoring Lord Ramachandra. He was even envying Lord Ramachandra. He was trying to kill Ramachandra. So, a person who accepts only Sita and rejects Ram, a person who accepts only Radha and rejects Krishna, a person who only accepts Lakshmi and rejects Narayana will not get the eternal consort of the Lord, will not get her blessings, will not get her mercy, because whether it is Lakshmi or Radha or Sita, they are merciful only to those people who also respect their husbands, right? So, like that, Lakshmi is very kind to people who worship Narayana also. Now, she has made her appearance. When Lakshmi Devi appeared in such an enchanting way in front of all these universal residents at this place in that arena of Samudra Manthan, different people have come to her to offer various presentations to her. So, now she is about to get married. She is going to do Swayamvara. Swayamvara means she herself would be choosing a husband for herself. So, before that, many universal celebrities including Indra, Brahma, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, the personified rivers, all of them assembled there and offered so many presentations to Mother Lakshmi. So, let us see what are the presentations offered by all these personalities. King Indra, the king of heavenly planets, he offered a beautiful throne to Mother Lakshmi. And the personified rivers, means rivers also have their presiding deities. Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, all these rivers have their presiding deities. These presiding deities, the personified rivers, offered pure waters from their rivers in golden pots to Mother Lakshmi. And after this, earth offered so many herbs, different herbs and flowers and plants and shoots, all these are auspicious. So they appear from Mother Earth. So she offered very auspicious herbs to Mother Lakshmi. And the cows offered Panchagavya to Mother Lakshmi. Panchagavya means 5 important products that come from Mother Cow. That is cow dung, cow urine, then milk, yogurt and ghee. So these 5 objects were offered from the cows. And after this, Vasanta season, the personified season called spring, offered all the beautiful flowers that grow in that season. And after this, the auspicious sages, the great sages, offered a Abhisheka ceremony for Mother Lakshmi. So an auspicious Abhishek ceremony is conducted by the sages. Gandharvas assembled there and chanted auspicious prayers. And also so many singers and dancers assembled there and started singing and dancing and performed a great musical performance for the pleasure of Mother Lakshmi. The personified clouds started playing drums. So whenever clouds thunder, we hear some sounds, right? So they resemble the musical instruments of mridanga, drums and other auspicious musical instruments. So the personified clouds offered these musical sounds for the worship of Mother Lakshmi. And Varuna offered garlands, flower garlands. The oceans offered yellow silken garments, and after that the Nagas, means the snakes from the lower planets, they came and offered earrings. In this way, so many personalities from all over the universe appeared on the scene and made various presentations to Mother Lakshmi. Hare Krishna.
For more such devotional programs, please watch Hare Krishna television. To get this channel, please contact your cable or DTH operator. For more information, please call 8767 845 845.